everybody. I'm here today with Tim Ryan. He's the Executive Director of Innovate Hampton Roads. Welcome, Tim, to today's Business Spotlight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Great. I really appreciate taking time today. So hey, let's get right to the questions, all right?
Awesome.
So tell me a little bit about Innovate Hampton Roads.
Yeah, we're an organization that really celebrates the innovation and the entrepreneurial aspects that are happening across Hampton Roads. We initially started with an organization called Start Wheel, and that was really focused on entrepreneurship, consolidating, coordinating, celebrating all the entrepreneurial efforts taking place. For those that are in and around Hampton Roads, we know that it's 17 localities, several different colleges and universities. There's a lot of entrepreneurial things that were happening. Really, really hard to decipher. Hey, I want to start a business. How do I get started? What's the quickest path for me to find out? One, is it going to be successful, or two, to revenue? So that's where Start Wheel was formed. In conjunction with that, there's an organization called the Hampton Roads Innovation Collaborative. And they were doing things more on a more mature business level, more so than the startup level. So we brought the two together. We merged a few months ago, and by bringing the two together, we created Innovate Hampton Roads. So we tackle both aspects, from the more mature businesses with the early stage startups.
Okay, and you're the executive director, and it's a nonprofit, right?
Yep.
So you mentioned you brought two organizations together, but who do you serve? Like, who's your target audience?
The target audience is founders of businesses, leaders of businesses, people that may want to start a business. Really knowing that if we connect people, we get people talking, we can learn from one another, we can help one another, we can partner one another, we can move faster together. So those are the people as business leaders all together.
Okay, what are some of the things you offer within the business?
Yeah, so one of the things that we have a weekly newsletter that we send out every Tuesday morning. And the main components of that newsletter is, one, a calendar of events. So all the events that are happening in the upcoming week, we have listed. We have all of the interesting business news stories that took place across the region. So everything that happened the previous week. We have a jobs page where any business that's trying to fill open positions, we allow people to post those open positions. And we also have a weekly podcast that we do called the Fervent Four Show, and we talk about what guests are coming up and just appeared on our show. We bundle that out. We send that out every Thursday, and that really encompasses a lot of what we do and what we offer.
Excellent. So what's one of the biggest issues you've had to overcome since being the executive director?
Yeah, honestly, I think that I'm going through that right now by bringing, as that merger happened, in becoming Innovate Hampton Roads. We want to make sure. I mean, I'm really, really well versed on the early stage startup and entrepreneurial side. But it's really trying to figure out from that innovation side, what is it that we want to do? How do we define success? And how can we provide value to the organizations and businesses that are around our region?
Yeah. So, we're out of COVID for a while. It's starting to poke its head up again. So, what were some of the biggest impacts of COVID the first time around for you?
Yeah, so that's really how our podcast was born. We used to have different events where people would go out, be able to talk about their different their businesses, who they are, what they're doing, try to get some insight from the audience members. And then when everything shut down, we were like, gosh, we have these early stage founders, these people, they need to have some sort of platform so people know who they are and what they're doing. So we just went on Facebook Live, my co-host Zach Miller and I, and we just started talking to see, if anybody would pay attention, if anybody would listen. And people grasped onto that. And now 175 episodes later, entering year 4, we're still going strong, giving founders platforms. And we're typically booked 4 to 6 weeks, if not longer, in terms of bringing guests on the show. So, that was one of the challenges that we faced, that we overcame. But now, I mean, we do a quarterly venture out, is what we call it, networking. We're really kind of the same thing, where we have the event at a place that somebody typically may not have ever visited. And we feature a company that someone may not have either one heard of or two not know how to work with. And we invite the business community out to go learn some new things, venture out, so to speak. And people are really happy to start talking to one another, seeing one another, and making those connections. Almost to the point where, like, gosh, you should do it more than quarterly, but it's a fairly heavy lift. So we'll stick quarterly.
It's amazing how much that community aspect is important to business owners, because it's pretty lonely a lot of times as a business owner. So having some sort of community networking type of thing is super important. And I love the way, we see over and over again, during the pandemic, we helped a lot of businesses through that. And if they didn't pivot, if they didn't do something, they died. And
oh yeah.
So many that did pivot to do different things. It's great to see how it works so well. They kept doing it even when they were able to go back to some sort of normal. It's like a lot of times a new net revenue stream or a whole new arm of their business they created because of it. So some good came out of it. It's being innovative is super important, and you get stuck in that grind as a business owner, and you're not thinking about how can I innovate and grow and do something different, right? So
if you're not failing, you're not trying. At least that's what I'm telling the people that I talk to and work with. It's just, you've got to, it's innovate or die, and COVID was definitely true to that that phrase.
So your clients, or the people that come through, the business owners that come through and participate in Innovate Hampton Roads, what are you seeing? Is there an overall theme of like major challenges that they have, or things like that you're seeing with them?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of a lot of things that we hear, it's a storytelling aspect. And so Innovate Hampton Roads, we are slowly like evolving to become like the mouthpiece, is what some people call it, in terms of like, let us amplify what it is that you're doing, all the great things, because getting the message out there about what these businesses are doing is a challenge for them. So again, it's just, we see a need, we meet that need, and whatever we can do. I mean, like, perfect examples in my case would be like, a company like Drone Up that we have. I mean, they're doing this. I mean, they are going to change this region the way that I see it. They are just, drone delivery, especially for a company such as Walmart, is huge. And I mean, everybody should know about Drone Up. And they are going to change this region. We need to keep them here. We need them to be happy and continue to attract talent, to continue to grow. That's just one example that we need to continue to tell our story, something that historically we've not been really, really good at.
What's been your biggest learning personally, as you go through it, being the executive director for quite some time?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the space, and the thing that I've learned the most is embracing that discomfort, overcoming those fears, leaning into that discomfort. And it, like, when you just go all in and you're just like, yeah, we just got to make this happen. It's amazing how everything just seems to fall in place. We've probably all heard the phrase, the harder you work, the luckier you get. But gosh, I mean, when you dive in and you just go after it, it's amazing what the outcomes might be. You can't really dip your toe in the water and expect things to change. You really have to go all in.
For business owners, fear kills more dreams than failure.
Oh, 100%.
So it's really important to be able to get through that and have some sort of mechanism where they can help, where somebody can help them through that. And I mean, and it comes down to knowledge, I think, too, right? I mean, you have fear when you're a business owner, and because of lack of knowledge. The risk in your business is because of lack of knowledge. So the more you're able to learn, the less fear you're going to have, the less risk you're going to have. I mean, that's why businesses fail so much, because they don't know enough before they go into the business. They jump in before they learn enough. So it's that learning piece that they have to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's leaning into that vulnerability as well. I mean, it's like if you have that reservation, you don't know if it's the right move, you need to embrace that vulnerability within yourself and ask a friend or colleague or trusted someone that you can to reach out to. Yeah, they're not going to laugh at you. I mean, they want you to succeed too. And one of the things that I tell everyone is like so many people want to help you, but if you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable and share how you can be helped, then nobody has any idea how they can help you. And
Yeah.
you're just going to go on living unhelped. And then you may face that failure that you fear so much about.
Yeah. And you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable
Right.
because you got, you're uncomfortable a lot as a business owner. So being, comfortable with that. And you mentioned having people to talk to. Hey, talk to people, tell them. And that's critical, but you got to have the right people because there's some people in people's life in their circle. You got family, you got friends. A lot of times they're just going to tell you what you want to hear, right? They're
That's
going to try
right.
to make you feel better by just telling you what you want to
Yeah.
hear.
I mean,
That's
I'll
not
even go as far as like if somebody asks me for feedback, like literally asking them, do you want my honest feedback or do you want feedback that's going to make you feel okay? But depending on how you're feeling that day, you may not be ready for the honest feedback, but you're right. I mean, and when people pitch me a business idea, whether if it's from the investing side or they want to start a business side, yeah, it's just, hey, you need to go out and socialize this, but don't ask your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, boyfriend, girlfriend. You need to talk to some strangers and get that brutal, honest feedback because otherwise you're going to look like the person on American Idol that everyone's laughing at because their mom said that they're the best singer in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the family will either say it's a great idea or they'll be totally opposite and negative. Are you crazy? You're going to leave your job to do that? What's gotten into you, type of thing. So,
That's right.
um, so what's the future look like for Innovate Hampton Roads? I mean, I know you said you merged. And so what's the future look like? What are some of the main challenges as you move forward?
Yeah, in terms of like the future that I would like to see is really putting us on the map in terms of like just to be recognized as a place that people can go because there's a new energy there that people want to be part of. We have so much, and again, a lot of it comes down to storytelling, and backing up just a little bit. That's initially why we had the jobs posting on our newsletter and on our website because a lot of people have this mentality and mindset that oh, there's nothing here. There's not any cool companies to work for. Yeah, but but if we put everything together and now all of a sudden you had 12 different startups that were all hiring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people a piece, then you add all that up and now all of a sudden it's like, gosh, yeah, we have 100 jobs or 150 jobs, all from startup companies alone looking to do something. Then that's going to create the energy.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, things like NASA, like how can we leverage that technology and like space is becoming something that's really, really huge. Yeah, this could be a hotbed for space, whether if it's travel or just what a multi-planetary species, whatever the case is. I mean, there's so much opportunity that we can leverage and to put ourselves on the map. Yeah, and that's either new companies, places where you can go to find investment. Yeah, and then we just continue to that circle just continues to evolve. We have a couple of successful exits, and then those people become generationally wealthy, and then they invest in more companies, and then everything just kind of evolves, and we just continue to grow and grow and grow. But
Yeah. What are the
showing,
challenges you see in getting there?
yeah, and that's just getting people to believe, that we've got really really cool things, and sometimes you have to leave, and a lot of people do leave, and it takes them leaving to realize that wow, we have some really cool things, and then they end up coming back.
Mhm.
So uh it's just it's getting that little bit of belief for people to come, and we're getting there. We've come a long way. I'm super excited and optimistic. I'm not saying that we're the next Silicon Valley by any stretch or the next Austin or anything like that, but we've got all of the ingredients that we need to become really really special with the travel, with the education, with the amount of knowledge from an engineering and science standpoint, NASA, military. We have all these things that we can build together and meld together and continue to grow upon it. We just have to work together, and I want to help enable people to work together so that we can make those things happen.
Yeah, that's a great vision for the future that you're looking at, and actually doing it now with the merger and everything else you're doing. Um, so you get a lot of pitches, people talking to you, people, startups and things. So, what advice would you give anyone thinking of going into business?
Well, and it's funny, I just shared this with my son last night as he was talking about a class project for high school. And you have to solve a problem. I mean, that's just if you don't have a problem, if you're not solving a problem, then you have a solution that's looking for a problem. So
Yeah.
you have to solve the problem. You have to validate that it's a problem. You have to lean in, you have to talk to people, you have to work together, you have to partner, you have to do all these things in order to make it work. But find that problem that you have to be passionate to solve that problem.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, the highs are high, the lows are low, and why you're solving that problem and that why that you have within inside you, that's what's going to get you out of bed in the morning when things are just not really bright and shiny. And yeah, that's what's going to get you up. So find something that's near and dear to your heart, that you have that why and you want to solve that problem, and just lean in and go after it.
Yeah, that is great advice. I think a lot of people look at the money first, like they start looking at an industry or a job. Okay, what's going to make money? And they chase the money.
Yep.
And if you're chasing the money, you're never really going to be successful.
Yeah, you've already failed. And what I see, if they're chasing the money, and then the first time that they hit that roadblock or so, you get punched in the face, so to speak. Yeah, that shiny object isn't so shiny anymore. And then you try to find the next shiny object, and you're like, no, I'm going to start a business doing this because before it may have been crypto or Web3, and now we're going to go after artificial intelligence. And what you're going to find out is no matter what direction that you want to go towards in business, you're going to have many roadblocks that you're going to have to overcome.
That's right. So, any offers that you would like to include in the newsletter?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, really what it boils down to is this is a community building project mission that we are part of. Everybody is invited to the party. So if you have an event that you would like to celebrate, some sort of a press release, anything like that, I mean, I all but guarantee that we will be the first people to publish that press release, share that news, and help celebrate with you. So I invite you all, share that. We have a very extensive audience that we push that out to every single week. Not my words. Other people tell me it's the best newsletter that they receive every week. That is the one newsletter that they read every single week. And we spent a lot of time putting it together and making sure that it goes out every Tuesday, but it truly is a reflection of the region that we're in. I mean, all we're doing is just compiling everything and putting it out and sharing it. So if you have great things, we want to celebrate with you. We want to push it out. So if you have an event, if you have a news story, if you have some jobs that want to be opened, or if you want to be on our podcast, the Fervent Four Show, we're all about telling the story about the great things in the region. So, all right.
Well, Tim, that really wraps it up for the interview. I mean, nice job. It was really great talking to you, learning more about Innovate Hampton Roads. I did spend time on the website, and there's a lot of resources there. There's a lot of great things on there. So thanks again for spending some time with me.
Yeah, thanks so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.